Hey everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast Live Edition. We're in the studio tonight. We have Jason and Bill and me
And you.
and me.
And Bill. And me.
Hi.
Hi.
And we're yeah. I'm gonna do my best tonight.
Your best is always awesome.
You are very kind to say that.
That's why we're friends.
That's right. There he is, the man. What's up, Mike?
The first one out of the gate, always, Mr. Mikey G.
I would say he's like 90. Here's the other one that's like 98%. They're the top two. My good friend Troy and my good friend Mike.
All right. SAE and metric size sockets and drive tools. 90 tooth ratchets.
Yeah.
Is this the deal that we missed that
Yes.
we were talking
Sets
about earlier?
include 13 tools and adapters, 1/4-inch drive, 6-point sockets, standard and deep well, 3/8 6-point sockets, standard and deep well, 1/2-inch 12-point sockets. 12-point.
What's max size on that kit? Does it tell you the range? I assume it goes down to like a 7 mil, but like what's it go up to? I don't know.
I know.
Includes 1 case, 13 tools, 1/4-inch ratchet, 3/8 ratchet, 1/2-inch ratchet, quarter. Doesn't say.
For everybody else, this is the grand debate of, sweet deals on trail tools.
Yeah.
Good deals when found, click buy. Because if you second guess it, all of a sudden the price goes up.
Yeah, that was
Doubles.
kind of the deal.
Doubles.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now it's $98. Before it was $45.
45. I love it
Oh.
a lot for 45.
Yeah.
48. Not 48.
Oh,
45.
45.
That's a deal
it was
breaker.
45.
It was 40.
45. Yes,
Yeah.
$45.
That $3 is like
With
I'm out.
shipping, it was like $47.80.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I regret.
Yeah. Hey, next time, text me about those deals,
Dude,
Wait,
I did.
I know.
I sent it to you.
I'm like, what's the? Okay,
and
I'll look
I
at that
bought
later.
2. Look, they even come in. It comes in a nice
Well,
little.
Christmas is right around the corner, and that's the giving season,
It
Billy.
comes in a nice little carrying case and all.
I love things in a
Yeah.
case because it appeals to my OCD.
I know it does. That's why I said it to you.
You guys come
Oh.
over, you're like, everything is so organized. It's like, yes, because everything goes in a case.
There it is.
I gotta turn
There it is. There it is.
What is that horribleness?
That is a dehumidifier.
Oh,
It unhumidifies.
it unhumidifies. It anti-Floridas.
It does anti-Florida. Oh, all right. We're slowly ramping up there with all the good people in the
In the house.
house.
What's the hot number today, Terry? Cooling, huh?
Cooling.
That's going to be the hot number.
Yeah, so get your questions in
Just
now.
to kind of prompt the early birds here.
Yeah, throw your questions.
I
in
got
the-
a list of stuff to talk about.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I came prepared.
But
Awesome.
I'm just gonna nod, which is perfect for an audio medium.
I'll constructively poke and question.
Yep.
Sounds pertinent.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Yes, give it just another minute or two. People will join on with us, and then we'll
Punch the button.
hit the button. Yeah.
Punch the monkey.
I am recording already.
Oh.
See, tonight it was. I literally.
Everything worked.
I just launched the app. Boom! Everything was up and running.
Never upgrade because it
No,
works and
right.
it's perfect.
I'm one or two.
I don't want to run a beta. I don't want the beta.
No. I have been using the beta for a while because the features in the beta were better
We're
than
good, but now it's
yeah.
all dekinked.
now it's all in there. So yeah, I'll wait another year before I do any upgrades.
That is correct.
Yes.
As a product manager of a software application, let me tell you about those beta products.
And I haven't updated my operating system yet either
Correct.
for the same reason.
Don't update.
I wait until it's like, so what are we at, 14? So it's
Yeah.
like, I'll wait till
Yeah.
14.1. Okay. The bugs.
Oh,
are
I
kicked out.
wait. Whoa.
Yeah, you got a little live there, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, I told you.
I don't like that. I'm used to being up close. Now you got to tell me to sit back.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Wow, see, I like this. This is a comfortable distance. I don't feel like I have to mug the thing
I'm used to being up close because
up
I've
on it.
just trained myself to be within a certain distance
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
So I try to talk normal. And
But this is good because if you turn your head, it's still.
Write that
Even.
one down.
Oh. I will remember that one. I have it right
Will you?
here.
All right. Yeah. All right. I feel like it's a good time to hit the button.
hit that button.
Hit it.
Do it. Do it.
I can't remember where I'm supposed to hit the button. That's right. It's over here.
Can you get a USB?
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast. We're proudly presented by Armorlight. You know those guys over at Armorlight. They are the toughest flooring on the trail, and it is an outstanding way to have thermal protection in your vehicle,
Noise.
acoustic protection in your
Protection.
vehicle, and have a surface that will not hold on to the dirt or debris or salt or anything.
Or sand.
Or sand. Yes, or sand. And then drain plugs. Right out uses the drain plugs that are available to you under your carpets that you can't easily access. So get that Armorlight. We have a discount code for you. It is the Jeep Life Podcast 10 when you order a complete Armorlight system at goarmorlight.com. Our thanks to Armorlight for presenting our show. I'm Jeep and Terry, and I'm joined here in the studio by my good friend Break It Billy. How's it going, man?
Well, it's broken. What else is new?
What else is new? No doubt. Man, it's good to see you.
You too, Terry. How you doing?
You know, I've been in pack mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are headed to SEMA.
I am headed to SEMA tomorrow.
This time last year, you were on a road trip.
This time last year, I was already 3/4 away there or
you were
more.
road tripping.
Yeah, I
to
was road
SEMA,
tripping, yeah.
And now
Now
you're
it's-
still sitting here, and you're going to be getting on a jet plane.
Jet plane, big jet plane.
Big jet plane.
Oh, big
You
boss
up-
on a
Actually,
plane.
Upgraded.
The first one's going to be a small jet plane to DC,
Oh.
and then I get on a big jet plane.
Oh.
As initially was getting in tomorrow evening,
And that doesn't work.
and there's still stuff that we need to do, take care of. I need to make sure that the LMTV is all set up, and I know everything
You
that's
gotta
on
do.
there.
You got to do shit.
I got to do shit. So opportunity came to fly out earlier,
There you go.
get there earlier. Came up and I pushed that button.
Send.
Yeah, full send.
We'll send.
So I am leaving the Lehigh Valley tomorrow morning somewhere right before 3 in the morning.
That's early.
It is early.
I'm gonna still be snoozing, man.
Oh, do you have to go out of Philly?
I do have to go out of Philly.
It's brutal.
And speaking of brutal, we got Beachcomber Jason.
Beach Boy Jason.
That's so brutal.
Beach Boy Jason.
Sand in your non-armor-lighted vehicle. That's
it-
brutal.
That is
Yes.
brutal for
Yes.
real. It's brutal even with Armorlight, but it's less brutal. How you doing, man? Thanks for answering the call.
You
9
know me.
minutes before we're.
Hey, you know I'm good.
Yep.
I'm always on high alert.
And I know
The
we
bat phone rang.
we were in a different state when we first talked about this.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that was kind of my reply. Like, yeah, well, yeah, we talked, but yeah.
You want to come to a show and maybe show up with some questions, and we haven't prepped anything, so go.
But I'm good at that.
Go up and I'm like, yeah, I prepped a show. We're good.
the one time we have everything prepped,
We're good.
and Dr. Don isn't in the building. So
I could talk about anything, dude.
I know.
Talk about paint your eye.
But it's good to have both of you here and be the last Pennsylvania faces I see before I cruise out. But we've done a few things this week. I know we're still waiting on the go from your Jeep, Bill. And any updates on that?
It'll be done soon.
Soon.
Maybe by next Friday. Maybe by the following Friday.
It'll be unbroked.
Yeah.
It is still broked.
It is still in pieces.
Probably.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces in a shop
Yes.
down in Netherland.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to you getting Big Red back.
I want it back so much. I am so sad. I just walk around and say, I want my Jeep back.
Yeah.
I just want to drive my Jeep. I want my Jeep back.
How's Reaper doing?
I want my Jeep back.
I shouldn't ask questions I don't want the answer to.
Reaper's fine. It's just like kind of just down in the dumps about not having my daily.
Yeah. Well, you had Lexi's Jeep for a little bit.
Yeah, and I did a lot of work on that.
A lot of work.
You owe me, by the way.
Yeah. You don't have to remind me. I know. Payday's Wednesday, buddy.
Yep.
I'm going to see you out back, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to let Uncle Tony talk to you.
Yeah. But when we got the Jeep, we knew that there were going to be some small projects.
Well, no, hold
to
on.
do.
You knew that there was going to be
That's
some
right.
small
That's right.
projects to do. I didn't even know you bought a
Small.
Jeep.
That's right.
Small projects.
Yeah. But we had kind of talked and we did a gas tank skid plate.
Well,
and by
let's rephrase this. We talked, and you were like, "Hey, you got some time to work on this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And I was like, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how long it's gonna take me. That thing's rusty."
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't just rusty; it was deteriorated. It was that point
it was
of rust
disintegrated.
right. It flaky, and the whole thing was flaky, and
I pulled on a piece, and half of it came out in one section.
it was a pile, like literal pile of rust debris.
Of race dust, yeah.
Race dust.
Yes,
There's
that's what it
there's
was.
less
Race-
flakes in a box of cereal.
Oh,
right.
it was there. There was less flakes.
And to that point, I agree. I was expecting at least one bolt, if not all the bolts,
one to be like jammed up, not coming
Right.
out, drill
requiring heat or drill, right, to
Nope,
get
they
out.
all came out like done.
Yeah,
Don't talk to me about
Done.
4 bolts to cooperate.
yeah,
8 bolts.
8.
I should have went and played lottery.
no doubt. I mean, pulling a gas tank skid plate is just awkward.
2007 Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
JK Northeast Rust Belt.
No, it's a 10.
Oh, it's 10.
It's a 10.
Either way, Rust Belt 2010.
Yeah.
Super crusty.
Yeah,
Everything's super crusty.
Yeah.
I put the impact on it, and it just buzzes each one out.
yep.
Couldn't.
That's
Like,
rude.
It was, like I said.
Because I did that to those seat bolts in the 97 TJ, and I busted all 4 of them like
Well,
it
no,
was
they
like
just
a
snapped
boss.
off.
Yeah.
They started. They looked like they were hopeful, and
Yeah.
then
Nope.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
these just.
awesome.
Right on out.
I'm glad that
Right
it
on out.
cooperated.
I mean, otherwise everything looked fine for that.
Yeah.
We-
Took the gas tank out, put the gas tank in the new gas tank skid plate, and put it all back up.
Yep.
Changed out the UVAP canister.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I knew that was going to have to be done. We were throwing some codes,
Yep,
some emissions codes.
Still throwing the codes.
Still throwing the codes, so we
Yep.
need to look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Oxum's razor, really.
Yeah.
The most simple answer to that is a gas cap.
Yes.
So we haven't done that, and I didn't even. I did.
We did all this stuff, and I did the evap. But by the way, I haven't replaced that cap yet.
I figured that was something that we probably should do anyway when we were doing that whole process. So we did that, and I know that gas caps sometimes are finicky if you cross-thread them the wrong way or do something weird with them.
Yeah. And they just get old and the seals in them go bad.
Yeah.
They have a little breather vent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Yep.
I'll even tonight when I get back, I'm gonna undo it and then retighten it
Yeah.
just to make sure it wasn't something she did.
Uh-huh. And then Thursday, I changed out the radiator.
Well, yeah. So Tuesday, before I dropped off the Jeep, I noticed that
You just sent me a video of something like spewing
out. And there was coolant on the driveway, which hadn't been the case yet.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to our good friend at Cold Case.
Hey, Cold Case.
Yeah. Hey, Cold Case.
We need an upgrade.
I need right. And we're lucky that Cold Case is
An amazing partner of the podcast.
a wonderful partner and very local to us.
Yes.
So shipping was it was like a day and a half.
Yep.
Tops.
Yeah.
And so it arrived at my house, and as soon as it arrived at my house, I moved it to your place.
Yep.
And no rush, no hurry, no whatever. Here, do this when you can. I'd kind of already worked out plans where the kid was going to have my Jeep, and
yeah.
And for some reason you ate your Wheaties that day.
I knocked it out like nobody's business.
Yeah, and which is leading to we're going to talk about cooling systems.
Yeah.
A little bit later in the main part of the show, but you had the team of guys who stand around, drink beer. They're the boom hours
and watch me.
Right.
And they kind of
we
they
appropriately heckle.
They appropriately heckled, and they did help when I said, "Here, hold this."
Yeah.
I tried to help more, and I got the look,
I'm
which
like,
I've learned to identify
Get
as
the hell out of my way.
as
Yeah.
I'm good, and so you just stand by.
I know that. I know.
Can
the
I hold
exact
that bolt
look.
for you,
Yeah.
sir? Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Hold
the
this
exact,
here. Hold this in this position.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically, it was like I had my two sons with me. Like, hold this flashlight here. God damn it! What are you doing? Stop it!
Meanwhile, I'm like, you want to be like that? I'm going to push this hose down.
Okay,
Hey, it's
yeah.
not empty yet.
Yeah.
But when you pulled it out, we found that radiator.
It was super.
If it hadn't gone, then it was going. It was
on
Swiss
its way.
cheese.
Oh,
was on its way.
It had lots. It was a holy day.
So we got that.
Jesus was in the house.
Yes, we got that thrown in, and so far all the temps have been really, really solid with it.
Good. I'm glad. I got all the flanges and the taps and the plastics and the stuffs back in place.
Yep.
So that is their newest radiator.
It is the XD for extreme
Yes.
duty cooling capacity.
They're aluminum radiators, which means they're a lot lighter and beefier.
That was one. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's necessarily lighter than the stock radiator,
Right.
but it is definitely beefier.
Yep. For the same approximate weight.
Same approximate weight.
Yes.
The Cold Case is significantly beefier. All of the welds are robotically welded,
Yep.
gorgeous dimes up and down both sides.
Yeah.
Remember to put the little rubber gaskets in if you're doing a JK. Remember to take them off the old one, put them on the new one, because I forgot to do that. But like everything is precisionally welded, gorgeous, 4 quad core, awesome radiator. Infill port, awesome, easy install.
And to me, it does look thicker.
Yes, it is a little bit thicker.
and which gives
Because
it
the
more
plastics-
surface.
The plastics on the top don't sit exactly back into place where,
Yes.
they should.
Yeah. So I'm showing on screen. Hopefully everybody can see it.
It's about a
is the-
quarter to a half
the,
inch
the
thicker.
front of it. So I'm going to let's knock that one out, and let's see if I can find the other one. Here we go. Let's do this one. That one looks. And you can see that it is considerably thicker, and you can see those welds
They're
as it's
really
dropping
nice.
it into the engine.
Yep.
It's just it's such a great product, and I've been running a cold case for a while in mine.
You had the prototype of this one.
Yes, yeah, and it's a solid.
It's great.
Yeah. So cool. Our thanks to
Fan lines up awesome.
Yep.
The shroud lines up really nice. No issues in, out, that kind of deal.
yeah.
Just remember to put the rubber bushings. back
Remember to put the rubber bushings back in.
in. And then it's
Yeah.
Um,
Remember the rubber
bushings.
bushing.
Otherwise, it will shake around a lot and move around. And you go, wait a minute, this not right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Monkey scratch head, monkey light bulb goes.
and then I go, hey,
Hey,
What
you
are
need
these?
this. You need this.
these things.
Yeah. So that was awesome, and I certainly appreciate you moving so quickly on that. And
Well, I got it done on Thursday night, and then
Yep.
Friday I went and looked at another Jeep.
no, you did.
Yeah, for my little sister.
Nice.
Not going to pan out, but still
No.
went and looked at a Jeep.
All right.
Going to look at another Jeep on Tuesday.
Do you have like an idea of what you want to do for that?
A Jeep.
A Jeep. All right.
A Jeep.
Wait, let's narrow it down. Hang on. Starts with a J.
Ends with a P, has 4 wheels, and goes beep beep.
Right. Well, so I've been through this process twice.
Yeah.
And
More on the stock side, I would say.
yes.
TJ, maybe an LJ. I'm going to look at an LJ. on
Oh.
Tuesday.
It's not the one that I sent you, is it? Oh.
I'm going to look at it on Tuesday.
You didn't even acknowledge my text.
Yep, I'm trying to scoot in there.
I wouldn't have texted you otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at a couple LJs, and LJs tend to be better cared for.
Yeah.
From
They're a
especially
little
here in the north.
unicorny.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
little
but-
unicorny, but
They're also sometimes people ask a premium for them,
Mm-hmm.
and then some people don't realize what they have.
Correct.
And that's when
sometimes
you-
it's a unicorn.
Right, and that's when you're
Correct.
really.
Yep.
That's when you're really good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's a unicorn, and hopefully I'm going to pick it up quick and get it ready for her.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything that I have that you need?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
That's for a different Thursday night.
Right. But I know that's challenging and stressful in itself because by the time you contact somebody and set up a time to go,
It's tough.
it's tough, and I didn't enjoy the process as much as I had hoped to,
It's awful.
but
Yeah.
once we settled everything, I'm extremely happy with that vehicle, even though it still needs a few things.
Yeah.
She's got on our list right now a couple of things left, and I've moved 2 sets of wheels and tires twice in this last week.
Yeah, man.
So if you need a set of bullshit tires and stock rims, I got you. I'm your guy.
Yeah.
They're flying off the shelves, Terry.
No,
Flying off the
they're
shelves.
not flying. Matter of fact,
You're going to be like, somebody please take these.
Yes.
but that's exciting. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
So lots going in on my Jeep world. Just waiting for my Big Red to be back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully it won't take too long.
Soon.
Let's see what else is on our agenda.
And I'm still taking donations for #TurboCharged TJ.
Turbocharged LJ real soon now.
Turbocharged TJ.
I like that. Get it. Get it.
TTJ.
All right, nobody's
TTR.
sending in your shop. I know that we have people out there that
Well, I just rearranged my shop, so I'll have it for
next week.
2 weeks.
All right,
Because you're
2
not going to
weeks.
be here next week.
I'll be here.
No, you won't.
Whether we are
In
able to
spirit.
record or not, I don't know. But show us your shop.
Show us your shop.
Frank helped us out.
Frank sent the first one in. We need some more show us your shops.
Yeah, it's such a good segment.
It
Come
is.
on. Get
I
off your
thought-
ass.
I thought I
Don't
hit
be
a gold
embarrassed
mine
about
with
your
it.
shop.
No.
Every shop.
Is dirty. Is
Every
overused.
shop
Well
is-
Size
loved.
doesn't matter.
Nope.
Cleanliness
Nev-
doesn't matter.
Nope, never matters.
Number of tools, the size of your rollaway
does not matter.
does not matter.
Even if you don't have a rollaway.
If you know how to use your tools, I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send a picture.
Send a picture. info@jeeplifepodcast.com. And
Yep.
you'll see your shop here. I'll insert it here.
Maybe.
Right
here.
If it's appropriate.
It,
True. We don't care.
I don't
Every
care.
shop.
We don't care.
I don't
That's
care.
right.
Get it to us. All right. So events coming up. We're at the end of the season.
It is the end of the year. SEMA is starting on Tuesday.
Tuesday through Friday. Friday is the beginning of SEMA Fest. It's the public is allowed into SEMA. I'll be back on a big jet airplane on Saturday.
Yep.
I'm going to do a few things while I'm out there. I'm going to try to do some lives if I can, if I get a chance. If not, I know that I have a couple interviews booked, so that'll be good. I'm doing kind of a media day on Wednesday.
That's very cool. And then November 11th is Wheel to Heel put on by Apex Off-Road up at AOAA Trails. And also November 11th is RC Club Rocks.
Yeah.
And that is a wheeling competition up at Roush Creek Off-Road Park in Tremont, Pennsylvania. So if you're looking to go watch some crazy off-road rigs and competition buggies, do some crazy courses, head up there. You can hit AOAA or you can hit Roush Creek Off-Road Park for whatever your competition needs.
So Wheel to
Desire.
Heel
Yes.
is a little bit different this year.
Is it?
No,
It is.
because it's a great event. We were there last year, and that was great.
Yeah, it's changed.
Okay.
I am pulling it up right now. But it's kind of changed a little bit, and the focus is on really getting veterans out there wheeling, whether they have a wheel or a Jeep or not,
Mm-hmm.
that people can ride with them. And I think the raffles are for the veterans.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. So if you're heading up there expecting one thing, don't be disappointed. Live with it and enjoy it.
Okay.
And you know, they do good work. Apex Off-Road does really good work supporting Mission 22. It's great. So kudos to them. I'm still going to try to make it up there. I know that's the weekend right after I get back from SEMA, so we'll see if I can get out of the.
It qualifies
way.
as a work event.
it actually it can, yes.
It very well
Yes.
might.
Yeah. That's the plan with that. And all right, so cool. We got a couple events immediately, and then afterwards, it's very minimal. There's a lot of local stuff doing, like holiday stuff
Holidays.
and Toys for Tots kind of things coming up. So make sure to
So support your Toys for Tots. Give back to the
Yes.
communities because it's the right thing to do.
it's the right thing to do.
Don't be a bum.
Be a bum, but give back to the community. So you put some stuff together for cooling based on what we kind of had to do with Lexi's rig and
Couple things.
yeah.
So one of the main things that Jeeps get old.
Yeah.
They fatigue over time, heat and cold cycles. So their Jeep started to move to a lot of plastics and polymers.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, when these plastics go through heat cycling, they become brittle
Yes.
over time. And somehow they become porous too.
Oh, yeah.
So they get cracks and things happen, and, you know. So one of the main components of a cooling system is your radiator, right?
Yes.
It is a set of fins with end caps on either side. And Jeep and also most automotive dealers or manufacturers went to a kind of a composite plastic glass fill end cap for the radiators. They used to be aluminum and metal, and you know they'd held up for a really long time, and you would get the infinite pinhole in it, and you would be able to fix it actually by like tinning and doing some weird
Little solder on that
magic
thing.
soldering. But now they have moved to this plastic polymer crapola. And I actually sent you some pictures of this radiator that
Yes.
I pulled out of Lexi's Jeep.
Yeah.
And it had 2 cracks in it, number one. And number two is that, like, where the aluminum fins were soldered into the sides, that soldering goes bad over time.
Yep.
It oxidizes and corrodes. And that's another common failure point, is that you get pinholes in the corner plates of your radiator,
Yeah.
and they leak.
Yeah.
So, like, just fatigue over time causes these components to fail. So I would say, you know, one of the main things to do of your cooling system is regularly inspect your radiator. Look for these weep points, I would say. Check for common drip points underneath your vehicle. You know, do your maintenance of your cooling system. So that was one of the biggest things that we saw
Yes.
when we were looking at an old Jeep. Some of the other things that we see when we're talking about heat cycles and failure points is impellers on the water pumps.
Yes.
They move to a composite impeller on the JKs, and these tend to kind of fail over time. They actually become very brittle, heat cycling over time, and they'll actually explode or implode or whatever you want to call it inside the motor and send these shrapnel all through your coolant system, and then that
Yes.
requires a flush.
Oh,
So the biggest culprit of poor cooling is actually your cooling fluid. It needs to be flushed every once in a
Yes.
while.
Yeah.
So your fluid flushes are important. That's another high maintenance thing of your coolant system. They should be flushed probably every about 2 to 4 years, depending on
Yep.
your
That was
driving habits.
literally on the next step with the TJ. That
Yeah.
was the next piece
Logical
of maintenance
thing.
was
Yeah.
was to do a cooling flush on that, because it, you know, the liquid goes through the same kind of heat and cold cycles,
Yes.
right? And it will break down with very similar, especially under a compressed system like that, where, you know, expansion and release of tension and everything
Yeah.
continually happens. So fluid, I agree with that. The fluid is it's susceptible to the same rigors as the materials.
And also the other big thing about the fluid is you can control your boiling point of your coolant system by how much glycol's input into the system, and also
Your ratio, yeah.
of distilled water to
Yep.
antifreeze. So if you get up to that like 75% antifreeze, 25% water, you get more into that like 265 to 285 boiling point.
Yep.
Which is actually really good for your motor. So when you are driving at higher temps during the summer, you know they say change out your blinker fluid going
Right,
back
yeah,
and
yeah.
forth summer to winter. Actually, sometimes guys will actually do that for their coolant systems because they'll run
Oh.
a different style different
Yeah.
boiling points.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the different kinds? Because not everything's just all the pure ethylene glycol, the old school yellow,
No.
mellow yellow. Now you got the
So the new stuff is already
oat, the green, the
yeah,
orange.
that stuff's already engineered to withstand a higher temperature. So basically, what the biggest thing is they reduce the surface tension, or of the
They've, like,
fluid
modified
itself.
the
Yeah, they
fluid.
modify the fluid. So the surface tension of the fluid around the cylinder jacket
Yep.
is reduced, so it actually gets a better heat transfer from the fluid to the cylinder jacket and everything like that. So we're seeing better heat transfer with this newer fluid. So that's why they're increasing the boiling points, and also in turn seeing that benefit as well.
Oh, right on.
And I think longevity too, because I know some of the maintenance cycles that I've
Yep.
seen are longer than normally that you'd think about flushes and stuff. If you looked at a 20-year-old vehicle and you look at that maintenance regimen versus a new one,
So
it
here's
seems
another
that
thing
it's
to
a little
think
longer
about.
now.
A JK pretty much is 5 years old. Every JK should have a fluid flush at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every single one, just because it's that old.
So here's a challenge for you. Straight flush the normal direction or a back flush?
For a
For anything.
Coolant system?
Yeah. Because I've heard
coolant
Logic
systems,
argued both ways.
it doesn't matter, I would say. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. I would say if you're going to flush your heater core, back flush it.
Because you want to
Push it back
push
out the
everything
way.
back out.
Right.
Yep.
Normal coolant flush doesn't matter.
Doesn't
There is no
matter.
back, no forward. Just take everything out, put a
There's
hose
no
in
try,
it,
there is
clean it
only do.
out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Put new fluid in it, and you're good to go. So we're not talking about transmissions and this, that, and the other
right,
thing.
right. Yeah, it's a whole
Transmissions
other, that's
are,
a whole other
that's
ball
a
of
whole
wax.
other, yeah.
Now, there was a question earlier here, Bill, about why doesn't anyone make a metal thermostat housing for a Jeep? And that's another critical
So
part.
actually, they do.
they do.
Dorman Products just came out with a replacement metal
Oh.
thermostat housing for the Jeep Wrangler JK 3.6 liter.
Right on. Because I know that is a critical component, because you had some issues with
Yeah.
a thermostat not all that long ago.
So thermostat housings aren't normally the culprit for a JK. They actually hold up pretty good. It's the fact that the thermostat is incorporated into the thermostat housing. That's the bigger problem for a JK, at least.
Right.
TJs, they all have metal thermostat housings now. I don't know about the 2.0 turbos. They probably have plastic.
Yeah. Everything about
also
that is
the
aluminum or plastic.
Yeah, also the JLs. I know they have a plastic crossover coolant tube,
Mm.
which is a common failure too.
Yeah.
Well, the JL, the whole system is totally wonky and different.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember cracking
So
into that one. And
JLs
it's like,
are a
this
little
is
bit different because they have a pressurized closed system,
Mhm.
where JKs normally just have a standard closed system.
Right.
So the reason why I say JLs have a pressurized closed system is that the overflow reservoir is pressurized as well for the entire system.
Yeah, I was going to say what causes that pressurization? Is it because it's just all sealed up and
It's
it
all
sealed up.
sealed, so when it goes through the heat cycles, it allows a certain amount of air to be vacated out of the system.
Yep.
And then the cap that is on the JLs is a pressure relief cap, so it gets up to a certain PSI.
Yep.
Once it goes above that, it releases it. Once it
That's
sits
one of
at
those
its
one way valves.
sits at his happy normal temp, and we're good to go. So
Perfect.
some of the other big failure points of a coolant system is hoses. Hose swell is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
As vehicles get older, their hoses they expand. And this expansion actually causes the pressure to increase in the system. And as your pressure increases, you can generate a higher temperature, which in turn keeps your motor to run at higher pressure, which isn't good.
Now, how often would you change your hoses? If
I would say JKs are getting to the point of like we're seeing that normal maintenance period. So
Yep.
like 100,000, like
100,000,
7-8 years, like, what are you
yeah,
thinking?
100,000.
Are hoses
Or
a
if
maintenance
you're-
item or is it a repair item?
Both. I would say
If they blow up, repair them.
repair.
If
'em.
they don't,
If you're-
replace.
if you're doing a, say a radiator,
Yep.
I would go through and replace all your hoses, but
Yeah.
You just didn't have the hoses.
we didn't
handy,
have the
but
hoses handy. So
that,
Right.
and that's why I asked,
Um,
because it seems like a logical thing. Like if I'm going to yank that out
yeah,
and I'm going to swap something out,
So-
hey,
we're coming to the point of JKs that they're starting to see a lot more of this maintenance and items of a radiator needs to be replaced because it's leaking.
Right.
mhm.
Replace everything.
How much longer are the hose going to hold out?
Exactly.
They've been there just
Yep.
as long.
Yep.
Well, so to that point, though, if you're doing a radiator swap, if you're doing a replacement,
Yep.
you're doing an inspection on hoses
Mhm.
as you're
That-
there.
Well, to be honest with you, you're separating the system. Now I'm putting it all back together, and there's a higher chance that that seal
Yep.
is going to leak.
Yep.
If you put a new hose back in,
It's
you
tighter.
have
It's
tighter.
Yep.
The tubes are
Oh,
all
that makes
tighter.
sense.
It has new clamps on it probably. So I would say whenever you're doing a maintenance item, look at the stuff around it. Are you breaking seals? You should put new seals in. Are you, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, in your situation, I would have done water pump, thermostat, and hoses all through in one
Just do
shot.
the
Yep.
whole nut.
Yep.
If you can, if it's possible. Gaskets as well.
Yeah.
Gaskets is another huge thing with a coolant system. They commonly fail. We had that issue with your Jeep.
Yep.
When they separate from their metal counterparts or that they're bonded to a metal internal, spacer plate.
Yep.
That sometimes can cause cooling issues. Whenever you have that opportunity, replace your gaskets, replace, common sealing points.
I mean, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And
I would not recommend adding RTV. Do not do that. That's going to make a major issue to get it back apart for somebody else.
yeah.
So
You're saying don't use RTV.
as a sealing,
Get
thing.
proper gaskets for
yes.
water pumps and
Yes,
thermostat
get your
housings
proper. I mean,
Yeah.
if it calls for RTV and the
Right.
service repair,
That's a
yes,
separate
then that's a separate topic.
Yes. But you're not saying
Um,
when you. Oh, I'm not going to replace these hoses. I'm just going to do RTV.
Right.
Right. Don't do that.
No. Don't RTV your hoses onto your radiator because it's leaking
it's
or
not
something of
and
the
zip
sort.
ties.
Or
RTV and
not
zip ties not
proper.
recommended.
All right, so we're at that point. We've been talking about maintenance. We've been talking about we've replaced components.
Correct.
What about those liquid things that you pour in to repair your radiator?
Do
Oh
not
my God.
ever. I mean, yes.
Then we cannot be
They're
friends.
good for a pinch. If you need to get it home, if you're driving home from, say, the trails.
But then
and-
you have to replace the radiator.
Oh, you need to replace the
Everything.
radiator. You need to flush your system.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
stuff does not come out. That is like gunk. It is in there forever.
Yeah.
Good
So
luck.
Don't do it.
Take a pressure washer to your engine.
Yeah.
Not.
I just wanted to
Oh,
throw that.
I hate
that-
you.
that- I wanted to throw that sardine in the
No.
stew.
So I've got one that I don't think you've planned for. I'm gonna throw one at you.
All right.
What about the waterless cooling fluid that is out there? I forget who makes that.
Waterless
It-
cooling fluid.
It's coolant, so like antifreeze. I'm trying to think who makes it now.
It's like
'cause-
Mishimoto Chill.
No, it's but there's no water in it. It lasts for like
It's like.
a ridiculous amount of time. I've seen a couple
Are you
segments.
talking
on
about
it.
like Evans coolant?
Yes.
Oh, I believe in that stuff, but the problem
It's
is
really
with Evans,
wild. Like you got to really prep your system. There can
so
be no
Evans,
water in it.
No, Evans coolant. The way it works is you flush your system with their pre-flush once, and then you flush it again with their pre-flush 2.
Yeah, the
and
prep is
then-
huge.
And then you flush the entire system again, and then you fill it with their fluid.
It's a commitment.
It is a full-on commitment.
But what's the bonus of this?
The bonus of this is that it changes the boiling point,
Correct.
and it
so
doesn't.
It has a boiling point of 285 degrees.
But water over time, as part of the component in that, is no longer, it's losing its water based
Correct.
properties.
And it
With
breaks
this,
down.
It doesn't, and it
Never breaks
you don't
down.
need to replace it, and therefore you're not harming the environment as much.
Yep.
That's
Guys
the,
are running
that's
this
the point of
fluid
that.
for 7-8 years.
Yep.
It's wild. Like,
It's great for dragsters. It's great for hot rods. It's great for vehicles that aren't in a situation that they may have their systems broken apart. Off-road rigs, your systems are usually broken apart a lot.
yeah.
Common. Things happen. They overheat. You're
Gotcha.
sitting, you're crawling, this, that, and the other thing. I think it's really good. I think it's awesome product. It's awesome, the thought behind it. I don't know if the commitment's worth it. You can, however, add water to it in a pinch if you need, but
Yeah.
then you need to
but
flush
then
the system
you got to
again.
start all over again.
And then it's
Right.
a commitment again.
Jerry says it's like going from .4 to .5 silicone brake fluid.
Right.
It just remains in a sealed
Yes.
environment.
We're not F1 cars.
No, we are not.
F.2 cars.
You, oh, you drive it like it's an F1 car, though.
I drive the shit out of my stuff.
Yeah.
If Billy's
Um,
keeping track, it's F2.
It's
Yeah.
F2. We're going Mach 2.
Yeah.
Common other failure things, thermostats. You know,
Dime a dozen.
Dime a dozens.
Yep.
You might have to replace 2-3 of them. It happens. Housings, they become warped over time. You know, the plastic housings
Yeah.
warp
Yep.
in JLs. And sometimes you just need a new gasket for that, you know, those two ceiling faces. It happens. Heater cores.
Heater cores.
Yeah.
Everybody let out a side. Just
Yeah.
pour a little one out.
Pour a little
For-
one out
for
for the heater
everybody's
core,
heater core.
homie.
Well, the pain in the ass about that
They're
is
buried under the dash, no
Right.
matter where.
Engineers should be beaten with a stick.
now is that
Let's-
still the same with JTs and JLs?
Yep, everything's buried under the dash.
So you
It's
have to
because
take
they're
the dash-
They
comes out.
are in the air conditioning HVAC box
Yep.
unit. Stash into it, goes through the firewall no matter what you're screwed.
Which
it
is
happens.
installed prior to the engine being installed in the factory,
Mhm.
right?
The beauty is that the hoses to the heater core.
They're right
Oh,
there,
they're right there. It's like, oh,
they
you're so
didn't
friendly.
expect the heater core,
right,
or they didn't expect the vehicle to outlast the heater core.
right.
Silly
So,
engineers.
Silly engineers.
They didn't divide by. They divided
Yeah.
by 0 or something.
Yeah, so it makes flushing it easier because the hoses and everything are right.
You
it-
could
super
possibly
accessible.
resurrect it if it's not
But-
leaking.
Yeah,
You could just hook right up to it and blow it back.
Yes.
But the one thing I did see, I saw an interesting YouTube video not all that long ago. It was the guy said, "You know what? This was such a nightmare. Never again.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Never again."
No.
And he actually cut, like back cut around the heater core and made a plate for it. So now if the heater core in that particular vehicle ever goes
Yeah.
belly up again, it's for like self-tappers and he can pull it out from the
We're
engine
not
bay.
all
Yeah.
that like.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh,
that's
that
smart.
It's
seems
great
smart.
when it's you, me, and everybody else that can actually do that. When you're not the most capable.
I know, but why don't you just engineer it that way? Because that seems smart. No.
No.
Let's rip the whole dash out because
And
that's
called
smart.
service money.
Oh,
Yeah,
now you
right.
sound like Apple. Let's not replace the batteries. Like, come on.
I hear you. And then to top off the entire system, the radiator cap.
Oh yeah.
It's designed to hold a certain amount of pressure, and when it stops holding that amount of pressure or relieving that pressure back into the overflow, you got some problems.
But that could be an easy solve.
Yes,
to
but
things.
it's the most overlooked
Yes.
solve.
Yes. I mean, it's like a $9 part.
It really is, and it's most overlooked.
Yes. Start there before you start throwing, hundreds of dollars at whatever it is. Start there.
And then the most important part of the entire system is your head gasket,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
which I blew up.
Not intentionally.
But
or,
your head
No.
gasket separates the coolant from the cylinder wall from the oil galleys
Yes.
in your engine.
Yes.
And so that keeps your engine cool with all that coolant running through your head and your motor and all those coolant passages.
keep them separated.
Keeps it separated.
I
Keeps
just
the
about
boys where the
sang-
boys
sang the
need to
song.
be, the girls
That's
where
right.
the girls need to be.
The
And-
offspring say
Yep.
keep them
Yeah.
separated.
Keep them separated.
Is there anything else? I think we've
Hoses.
hoses.
All the hoses.
Did hoses,
Yeah.
radiator cap, radiator, pressurized systems and JLs.
Hey,
Which,
if
by
your
the way, that
fan
cap is
isn't
a-
working,
and
that
the
could be
fan
a
is-
fan.
Fan.
Your fan.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan.
Only fans.
Jeep fan.
And it could be stuck in high.
It could be stuck in high. It could be stuck in.
off.
And also, if your system's running too cool, that can also be a problem.
Yes.
So if your fan is running wide open and you're running like 190 degrees, that means your oil isn't getting up to the proper temperatures and providing proper lubrication to the rest of the the engine.
Yep.
So you need to be running at that your optimum running temperature for your motor.
Yep.
Or a stuck open thermostat.
That too.
Because I swear to God, in a separate vehicle, a non-Jeep vehicle, I have been convinced that thing has a half stuck open thermostat because it takes a long time to warm up,
Yeah.
even on a warm day, much less a winter day. So that's indicative of a stuck thermostat.
Stuck open.
And then also, like you said, it doesn't quite heat up. So when it's blowing hot for heat,
Yep.
it doesn't feel quite hot. The needle's a little bit on the dippy side. Pretty indicative.
Yeah.
Yep. Fix it.
Fix it.
Fix it,
right.
Felix.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I love that. We got it. Joe sent us a question inside the chat, and I think we're going to use that as a good episode coming up.
Cool.
There's got to be plans around that answer.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly. we need to spend a little time with that. But that's a great question that we will do as a.
There's going to be drawings and like pictures.
Right.
There's like a five slide deck that comes out with it.
And I'm going to go ahead and tell you now that the Jeep Life Podcast owns the intellectual property of the answer of that question. So no matter what one or two of you do, we all profit from it. How's that sound? All right. We know where to find us.
Tell a friend, damn it.
But tell a friend where to find us. And just it can Google search Jeep Life Podcast. It's easy.
We have a YouTube channel too
Yeah.
of me doing a whole bunch of dumb shit.
And
Dumber shit to come.
Dumber shit to come.
I can't wait.
That's what we do. So, listener voicemail, throw us a voicemail, go to YouTube, leave an answer, tell your friends, put it on your social medias, do whatever it is you do to let the world know about us. The more people that know about us, the better. We've got a great following as it is, but there's never enough. I want more. I'm a greedy bastard. I want to see more people come and give me high fives or hugs.
I'm thinking there needs to be a high watermark set for live viewers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there needs to be a stretch goal set.
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked.
Well, so do it. Come, let me. I'll
bring
put a
friends.
I'll put a
Bring a
goal,
friend.
and then we'll put it out there.
Bring a
and
friend.
maybe- but more people, the betterer.
I'm a friend.
All right. For Beachcomber Jason,
until we come up with something more clever.
Yeah. I had some alliteration with the Jason, but I didn't like it.
There's probably some not favorable.
Yeah,
alliteration.
there definitely is. For my good friend Break It Billy, who is Fix It Billy for me,
Always.
and
That's what I'm here for.
Jeep and Terry. I will see you on the other side. I'll probably do some stuff from Vegas, but anyway, here's a big Jeep wave to you, everybody. All right, cool. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us and making it a vote on nicknames in the next episode.
That's right.
That's right. I love it.
I could go Jetty Jason because that's kind of like, my beach vibe down at my joint.
Yeah.
The Jetty is the thing.
Yeah.
So,
Jetty Jason. I like that.
I mean, at least that's a favorable alliteration. Because I'm thinking I could come up with several that would be more defaming.
BJ Jason.
100%. 100%. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a great night.